I'm Anita Finley, and we're doing our Zoomer Times. And our great guest is the real estate guru, Anthony Kulp. Anthony is so smart and so successful. So Anthony, in this time of COVID, how are you doing as far as, I think the last I heard, a lot of people are buying and selling.
Yeah, I've been busy, and the people that are really looking to buy are going out there. So it's nice. You know, most of the time, 1 in 5 people I take out are buying, but in this case, you know, the people I'm taking out are real buyers, and you know, they're looking for deals, which there aren't many deals out there right now. But they're ready to move, and they have a lot of time on their hands. So they have the time to go out and look at houses, and they don't feel rushed. So,
But Anthony, you don't take them in your car. You meet them there, right?
no, we go in the same car. We wear masks.
Do you really?
Yeah, we wear masks. I have hand sanitizer everywhere. I have 2 on my desk. I have them in the car. I have 1 in my pocket all the time, and most people, they have them as well. And now I'm running into a lot of people who've already had COVID.
So what are you thinking, that they now show you can get it again?
Yeah, from what I see, though, it's very rare, very, very, very rare. And then you're saying the people who have, they may not have gotten rid of it from the first time, or they falsely tested positive the first time. And then if you do get it again, they said that you won't get it as bad, like the flu.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm certainly anxious to take a flu shot as soon as it comes again. Yeah. I take one every year, but I'm going to run and get that one to see what I can do. But so let's talk about property. I do have to, you know, my son and his wife live in Miami. They listed a house down there where the other people are, because I told them about you, but they thought it would be better to do it where all these other people, you know, are experienced in that location downtown. So the question I have for you, though, is they put on a wonderful video. Mm-hmm. These people made this video. It took a long time. And do you do this for people?
I do if it's a larger home. But when you try to do it with a condominium.
No, this is a home, big home.
Yeah, with a home, you can do it. I mean, I even do an aerial and aerial photos.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You hire someone to do that for you?
Right, but when the rooms are smaller, the video isn't always the best thing to do because it'll make a room look even smaller.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things you have to be careful of videos, if you have expensive things in your house, criminals will use a video. Though when I was in Delaware, they caught this gang of criminals, and what they were doing, they were going on the internet, they were looking at the virtual tours for rental properties. And this is when flat screen TVs were really big. So they were looking at properties that were on the beach, and they were going along the beach, breaking into the house, because nobody can see break in from the beach, and stealing all the flat screens. So, a young police officer who was familiar with the internet and virtual tours, he's the one who caught him. He said if they're finding them online, they must be selling them online, and that's how he tracked them down.
Oh, that's something interesting. Well, they don't, of course, have valuable stuff inside, but I do understand what you're saying. But so you would do it if it were a home, but right now, how do you show people if they live up north? Is it on those? There's certain kinds of listings that they do it, right? They
take lots of pictures. Typically, the minimum amount of pictures on one of my listings is probably 45. And
what? Why can you do in 45?
You take, you know, you move the camera slowly. So you take a picture, you move it a few feet, you take it again, you move it a few feet, which is just about as good as a virtual tour. Now, when I'm for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo, I'll go and take 125, 130 pictures.
Oh, come on, Anthony. I never heard of such a thing.
First, I take the pictures, then I come back and get rid of the bad ones. And then the ones that are left over, I crop, I fix the light, you know, I filter them, and, you know, you only use the best of the best. And then when you have common area pictures, pictures of the lobby, pictures of maybe surrounding stuff, you know, of interest in the surrounding area, and you put them on. But no, I have listings where I put up 100 photos.
Never heard of such a thing. But so do you have clients up north who are coming down, and before they come down, they want to be able to see maybe 5 houses, and so you have to go through them first to try to figure out which ones they're gonna like, right?
Yesterday, I went all oceanfront condos. It took all day. You park, you go through the lobby, up the elevator, look at the unit, come back down, walk to the car, get in the car, go 3 buildings down, do the same thing. And the gentleman was older with emphysema, and he was.
Oh,
I didn't know if he was going to make it. I was exhausted at the end, so he must have just gone home and collapsed.
so did they decide on doing it?
No, not yet. He has a little bit more research he wants to do, but he has it narrowed down to an area and a couple buildings, which is what you do sometimes. You know, we have a lot of oceanfront condos, so he wanted to see the different areas. Now he's local, he lives here. Most of my people that are coming down, they've canceled. They're not coming down, because if you're in New York and you come to Florida, when you go back to New York, you have to isolate for 14 days. So, yeah.
Right. Well, but now if they like something, they can leave, and then you can handle all the other parts of it.
Yeah, mostly all settlements now are done through FedEx or online, depending on what the lender will allow. If it's cash, you can just do everything online pretty much. If there's lender involved, then you have to be there in person to sign all the loan papers.
Right. Okay. So now let's just talk about that man. Of course, we won't name him, but tell me what's going to make his decision. Of course, it's always price, right? I mean, they want to negotiate price.
This just comes down to selling the place first. Once he sells his condo, then he's going to buy the other one.
Okay.
He's an older gentleman, and he said, I want to treat myself for the rest of my life. I want an ocean view, and I can afford it, so I'm going to buy an ocean view.
Right. Well, but there's, a lot to it. So when so is he alone? Well, he's single. He's single, and he's an older gentleman. And so why does he want to move? Isn't that a big pain?
He always wanted a condominium with an ocean view. Never allowed himself. He always something cheaper. And he said, for the rest of my life, I have the money to do it. So I want to buy a condo with an ocean view. And I said, you can't take it with you.
Right. And so will you be selling his home also?
Yes.
So is the home he's going to buy about like in the 500s or more?
No, it was 500 and less. Everything we looked at was from 320 to 500.
Oh, so sure, there are a lot of ocean views now, depending the location, right? You can find.
Exactly. And, they're not all direct ocean view. Usually a lot of the buildings, most of the condos face north and south instead of east and west. If it was direct ocean view, it's probably start at, $700,000.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm not that wild about an ocean view. I'd rather have a city view, because at night you can see something. At night with an ocean view, unless there's a freighter out there on fire, you're not going to see anything.
Freighter on fire. Oh yeah, right. Or the fireworks, you can see it better. Well, a lot of people like intercoastal views too.
That's what I like. Intercoastal, you see boats go by all night. You can see the city. And on the intercoastal view, you're looking inland. You can see 10 fireworks shows going on at once in 4th of July.
Yeah, I tried to get you a client. Someone was looking in Fort Lauderdale for ocean, but somehow, it happens. So they had a friend, because I told them about you. They had a friend who lived in this building, and before you knew it, the friend snookered him in there. And I don't even think they had a realtor. They just.
Well, that happens all the time. I just had a place. I had the listing agreement already. Everything was signed, and the owner called and said, a friend referred a buyer to me.
That's it.
So I said, hey, listen, no problem. We'll really cut the commission down, and I'll take care of all the paperwork. And the people from out of state, they never even saw it. And so I would, got everything together, got all the paperwork done, got them a lender, got them all the information for the company, got their meeting set up. So it was worth it for the seller to pay a small fee.
Oh, you're so good. See, that's called no greed. That's wonderful, because that's right. When they have these signs for sale by owner, people have no idea. Once someone wants it, all right, what do I do? You go to your lawyer, you go here, you don't know what you're doing. hiring someone like you is the right thing to do.
Well, when you buy it directly from somebody, most likely you're not going to get a seller's disclosure. They don't encourage you to get a home inspection. If it's on the water, you're not going to get a seawall inspection. And it's, once the deal's done and the papers are signed and the money has crossed hands, there's pretty much nothing you can do to go back to a seller unless you can absolutely prove that they lied to you.
Right,
It's hard to do. Very hard to do.
So my guest is Anthony Michael Kulp, and you can reach him at 954-815-9048. Again, 954-815-9048. And you can also, the thing you have to do though is look in Boomer Times. He always writes a great article, and he always seems to have an apartment or something that you feature. And of course, you're a specialist in Palm Air.
Right.
So if anybody is thinking about Palm Air, they should be thinking about Palm Air. What's happening across the street? Anything yet at the casino?
I talked to one of the state commissioners, and he said they pushed everything back about 6 months. They're going. I have their paperwork here actually. They're going into a hearing on the 26th tonight. They're going in for a hearing. They want to include 1.5 million square feet of industrial. So,
really?
Yeah, my suspicion, what they're doing, which is fine. I mean, builders do it, especially on such a large parcel. If they're given the 1.5 million square feet of industrial, when they do what's called down zoning in the future, they can say, well, we don't need all this for industrial. We want to use half of it for condos. Well, if you down zone from industrial, you'll get more units per acre than if you're down zoning from commercial. So
I didn't even know you could, if it's zoned for industrial, I didn't know you could even consider residential.
Oh, absolutely. You can always, you could change residential to industrial if it's the right.
Oh, I know, but that's, yeah, and it increases the value if it's residential now compared to industrial.
Right.
But the commissioners have to decide, so that's always a little political, isn't it?
Well, the city of Pompano is very much in favor of this. This is, the taxes that they're going to collect from this are outstanding. It's going to be the crown jewel in the city of Pompano. It's going to be, it's going to make the Hard Rock Hotel Casino with the guitar. That's nice to go down and see, but you can never get a room in the guitar. And if you can, you probably can't afford to stay there anyway. Where this has everything. It's going to have a town center, the casino, a hotel, a convention center. They're putting in a crystal lake that they're going to have activities in. The town center is going to have a Dynavision screen with a kind of a square. And then when the Super Bowl's on, you'll go there to watch the Super Bowl and eat in the outside restaurants and the shops. It's going to be spectacular.
Oh my goodness, it is wonderful, but you're saying that it's been delayed about 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, but once they get going, they'll be going like gangbusters. The first thing they have to do is put in highlight because they're going to remove the horse racing.
Oh, they're going to do highlight. I haven't heard about highlight for a long time.
Yeah, in South Florida, all of the casinos that have horse tracks, I'm guessing that they're going to be putting in highlight and removing the horse racing. Horse racing's on its way out, just like dog racing.
Yeah, because of the horses. But highlight was very popular when I was growing up. That was very fast game. I wondered why did it lose? Why did it go down?
I think it was just because of promotion. They didn't want to pay the players. Now they have an ex-NFL guy who's a player. They're bringing in a lot more big players, bigger names, which will promote it even more. And it's going to be a big thing in Florida again.
Oh. Yeah, I remember Miami highlight. I remember the highlight down in Miami when I lived there. And then there was a big one up in West Palm, the huge center there. And then they closed it down. In fact, my husband was involved in that, trying to get a very big thing there. That's a lot of, yeah, right. It's a long time ago, and we'll talk about it sometime privately. But it's there's been a lot of things like this, a lot of dreamers. Of course, the people across the street are more than dreamers. They have a lot of money, and so they've already bought the land, right? So it's a matter of...
They're very experienced developers. They've been in business for 100 years. But some of the other things that are going on in Pompano, the pier is open back up, and that's free to the public to walk on. If you're going to fish, it's $6 a person. The beaches are outstanding. The walkway along the beach is outstanding. We have 2 restaurants right on the beach. Well, there's 3. The third one is a huge tiki hut. It's called Lucky Fish, and it's just everybody who goes there loves it. The prices are very affordable. They're putting pizza places moving in just across from the beach. Kilwins is moving in. They put in another novelty store with T-shirts and bathing suits and sundries and all that. Pompano is just a beautiful beach and a beautiful place.
And so actually, people can go there, and are they all having to wear masks and everything when they go there?
Not if you're outside, but you still can't have more than 10 people sitting together at the beach. And everybody's social distancing. You'll see 3 and 4 people here and there, occasionally maybe 5 or 6, but everybody's being very responsible. And it's a little too hot at the beach for me.
Yeah, and the pier, anybody just goes there, they just can't stand next to each other.
Right. And some people are wearing masks, and to go on the pier, you have to have a mask. But you have to wear it going onto the pier, but most people pull it down once they're on there. Because there's always trees, and you're not getting close to people. So.
It's interesting, isn't it? Halloween and big parties, people wore masks. It was a different kind of a mask, right? They didn't. Well, most of them had their mouths showing, but the rest of the thing. And now it's a different kind of an ordeal. But listen, Florida, of course, has been teeming with it, and they've got to stop it. That's the problem. Too many people are taking it taking it carelessly, and that's not a good thing. I don't go very many places, Anthony. I'm really sticking close to home, and I even get my groceries delivered. I just don't want to take a chance, because I was telling someone on another show that we just did, I have a cousin who has a resort in North Carolina, and he's been there for a month or 2, and he had a housekeeper he was bringing back down here to Miami, and she got it and gave it to him while he was in the car.
Yeah.
And so, and his mother, my cousin, hadn't let anybody in her house and didn't know that he had it. And over 2 months or 3 months, and now he came in and she's being tested. I mean, it's not casual.
No, I think most people are responsible. You don't see people, bars are closed, but even in the restaurants, you don't see a lot of people there. You got to get out and walk around, get some sunshine and some exercise, but, keep your distance from people. I noticed that when I walk, I have to tell you about my new dog, but when I walk the dog.
You have a new dog?
Oh yeah, wait till I tell you all about him.
Okay.
So when I walk the dog and there's somebody else coming the other way, we give each other plenty of distance. Either somebody steps onto the grass or onto the sidewalk or puts their mask up. So I think it's becoming the new norm, and it doesn't seem so unusual anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people are being pretty responsible.
Okay, dog time. What happened?
So, my dog passed away a few months ago.
I know, yes.
So we weren't going to get another dog, and then we decided.
Those are famous last words from people whose dogs have passed away.
So I didn't want a puppy. I was going to get an adult dog to begin with. And they did a little bait and switch. This one shelter, they put up this young puppy or a 1-year-old Shih Tzu, and we called about it, and it said, "Oh, well, that dog's gone, but we have an 8-year-old." So I said, "Well,
like mine was 8 years old when I got it."
Well, he might be a little older than that. They were saying he's 8. He could be 12 for all I know. So I went, and they found this poor dog down in Miami. He had a chicken bone stuck in his throat.
Oh,
He was
God.
constantly drooling. Was a little afraid of people. He was underweight. We thought he had a heart condition, and so I was like, "I'll take him. Even if he lives 2 years, he's going to live the best 2 years of his life." So we brought him home, and he's been coming around. We changed his name to Leo. They had him called Linus, and I just couldn't imagine selling for a Linus.
Right.
So he's learned his name, and he's fattened up, and he's really become a good dog now.
What'd you do with the bone?
Oh, well, before we got him, they did the surgery and had it taken out. But when
Okay.
we got him, because he wasn't swallowing correctly, he was
Oh,
drooling and drooling and drooling.
yeah.
And, so we just took the chance. I said, I think it'll stop. So at night, I would massage his throat, just massage
Good.
it a little bit every night. He would, while you do it, he swallows, he's swallowing, he's swallowing.
Right.
And at first, he wasn't eating a lot. Now he never stops. He just eats and eats. And eats.
Oh,
We have to put him on a diet before he gets too big.
what color is he?
He's a very light blonde. He's blonde. His face is a little darker. And my other Shih Tzu, he had a lot of facial expressions. This dog is stone faced. You don't know if he's happy, if he's sad, unless his tail's up,
Oh,
But he's becoming a great dog. And so him and the cat are starting to work it out a little bit. It's been a little more than 3 weeks. And
well, my Shih Tzu is he's just, I took him with congestive heart failure and he's on medication and he's just wonderful. And I feel the same way that, listen, however long he lives, it was good for him. It's good for me. And the thing, he had pneumonia. We didn't know it. That's why he was spitting up and he's been on antibiotic and he's doing much better. And I'm in love with this dog, just like, you've seen him. And of course, he's a wonderful dog. So, the Shih Tzus are special. I knew you had one, but the Shih Tzus are special.
And this
Oh,
one, our other dog took to me. He only wanted to be with me, and this one sticking to both of us.
well, that's better. That's nicer.
Yeah,
He's probably so happy to be in a loving home.
yeah, he's great. And I love him. I fell in love with this dog in 24 hours.
Right.
And he was having a
Well,
problem. We took him to the vet, and they said, well, we may have to keep him overnight. I said, you're not going to keep this dog overnight. I said, I'll bring him back in the morning. You can keep him all day.
right,
You pick him up and you
right.
eat him. But I don't want him.
Good.
He's been through so much already. I don't want
Right.
So.
Oh, you're the loving daddy he's been dreaming of. Well, when you see our September issue, the book of the month is about a Shih Tzu. And this woman had it, and her name is Mr. Sims, and oh, the story is just fantastic. So I just reviewed the book, and you'll see this gorgeous, he's on the cover of the book, and it's a Shih Tzu, but he's dark. Jack's more like yours, the white with the brown and light brown, but hers is the one with the black and stuff like that. But I know, that's why I always love you so much, because you are a loving dog lover like I am. You can't, it's hard to believe that people hurt these animals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I don't know what the situation is. I don't think anyone abused the dog. I think maybe an older person might have had the dog, or the dog.
And he escaped or something?
Yeah, it had a chip. It was chipped, and they researched, and they don't always tell you when you
Yeah,
adopt these dogs, and you just
I know.
find it out.
But you have heard about dogs being hurt, not your particular, but you wonder about what happens there, right? Well,
Right.
getting to talk about dogs, so the one thing that I admired Anthony so much about was, if you have a dog and you want to move into a particular place and they say, nope, you can't because you have a dog, well, you have to call Anthony. I'm going to give you his phone number again, 954-815-9048. 954-815-9048, because he is the guru of getting dogs into places. Have you had any more of those problems?
Nope. As a matter of fact, the governor just put out a new order. So if you go on the governor's website, in the state of Florida, condo associations, homeowners associations, and management companies can no longer ask you why you need the animal. They can ask what the animal does for you. So, violates HIPAA laws. You shouldn't have to disclose what your ailments are to get into live somewhere.
So what is it now? What do they ask you?
They cannot ask you what your ailment is. Why do you need this dog? They can ask you what the dog does for you, but they can't ask the reason.
Oh, that's great news, right?
Yeah. They shouldn't be able to ask. It violates HIPAA, from what I understand. The other thing, they're cracking down on internet letters from doctors. They want a real doc. They want you to talk to a real doctor. And most
So you can't go online and buy one of those things that you buy anymore.
Yeah, most of
The
them are
doctor has to say that my patient needs this dog.
right. Most online are fraudulent anyway. So I've never worked with anyone who went online. I said to them, you need to have a regular doctor, social worker. It doesn't have to be a doctor. It can be a social worker, LCSW. It's a pretty wide range of people who are authorized to write the letter.
I see. Well, that's good news because there are some places I know that are very nice in there. No way, you have to sneak your dog in. And
Yeah,
I once wanted someone to watch my dog. She said I can't because they don't allow dogs here.
right.
But if it's just going to be for a short time, do I still have to go through all that rigmarole?
If you're going to visit somebody, you can bring the dog with you, and all you have to do is have the letter. And actually, the law is for ADA that they can't even demand the letter. You can just say, this is my emotional support animal. Now, one of the things you have to remember, an emotional support animal for a home could be a wide range of animals, snakes, whatever.
Oh, thank you very much.
Not when it comes to going into somebody else's condominium building, flying on airplanes, the bus, if you're taking public transportation. Restaurants are really cracking down on it. But now with the governor's order, they can. I mean, they're violating the law and they're setting themselves up for a federal lawsuit.
So wait a minute, go back to the restaurant. So what are you telling me? You could take your dog into a restaurant?
If it's an emotional support animal, you can, but you have to remember something. If you bring your dog in a restaurant, you can't sit there with the dog on your lap. The dog has to be under the table, just like you would see any service dog. The dog can't be pulling on the leash. You can't be feeding the dog, act like a service animal. Once you take that dog from your home, it has to act like a service animal. If it does not, then they can ask you to leave.
Okay, so tell me about Publix. I've wanted to go, but I've never taken my dog. Would they allow my dog?
They have to, but your dog has to behave.
So if it just walks along, can't put it in the basket.
Not supposed to, but I think they would overlook putting a small dog in a basket. So.
By the way, how much does your new dog weigh?
Oh, he's 12 pounds.
Yeah, that's like Jack, same thing. So they're small.
The previous dog was 22. So this one likes to be held. My other dog did not like to be held.
Oh, yeah, you're loving this. Oh, yeah, well, my big problem is I want to stop off at Publix. I'm not going to leave him in the car, but I didn't think I could bring him in. So you're telling me I could bring him in, but I better get a letter just to carry with me.
It doesn't hurt. They're not even supposed to ask you for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone into Publix with your dog?
No, we don't really bring him in the car, and I would never put him in the car if I thought I was going to stop somewhere.
Oh.
He's a homebody, he stays at home. So.
My dog absolutely loves to go in the car. Oh my, he can't wait to get into the car. So I can't leave him, but
no,
but I must say that
I don't see any reason why Publix would stop you from going in the store as long as the dog is well behaved.
well, this was a great conversation. You just made me say I need some tofu, and I forgot, and I hated to go and do it. So, and he's small enough I could literally carry him, and not do that. Oh, you're so good. You're always filled with great information. So anyway, this is so you've been listening to Anthony Michael Kulp, he's one of our very great realtors. If you don't just have to, we have less than 2 minutes. You're going to be free. Where's your dog? Is he there? Can I see him before we leave?
No, he's at home, my office right now.
Oh, I didn't know you're in your office. Okay, next time I want to see him.
Yeah, I have a problem close to my house.
Anthony, thank you so much. My dog's just getting up now, and he's been sleeping. Thank you so much, always, and we'll be talking to you soon again, my handsome friend here. And thank you again.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You too. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.